Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. Today I have a chuck roast and it's boneless, and I'm thinking about cutting it up or cooking it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it, but it's 2 pounds, and you know every 3 ounces is 25 grams of protein. So there's a lot of protein in this, which I talk about all the time. So it's a bottom chuck roast. The first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to have to make some more rub. This is a pork, lamb, beef rub, which I've given you once before, but as you can see, I'm quite low on it, so I'm going to have to make another batch. Let's see. I'm thinking about how I want to do this. All right, 2 teaspoons of dried sage. 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. 2 teaspoons. I've got a powder here, so I'm going to have to adjust for that. 2 teaspoons. Yeah. I haven't been able to find any thyme except ground thyme. I don't know what happened, but it's nowhere in the store to be found. A teaspoon of dried rosemary. Sometimes I get a piece of meat out for tomorrow and the next day, and I just don't know what I'm going to do with it till I, decide. All right, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of dried mustard. They prefer Coleman's, so I have Coleman's, so I'll be giving it 2 teaspoons. I almost couldn't find this recipe. I went through like 3 books to find it. All right, you're going to need 1 whole teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Two teaspoons of garlic powder. You need 4 teaspoons of salt. That's my salt mixture I'm using if you're wondering why it doesn't look like yours. And you're going to need 4 teaspoons of black pepper. That's a lot of black pepper. Okay. Please mark your jar that this is a rub for pork, lamb, and beef. I won't remember. do like the smell, but I'm sorry I couldn't get the time the way I wanted it done. Let me put this up. I think I'm gonna cut this up and drench it in flour after I do the seasonings. I could have bought stew beef, but it wasn't out, so I bought this. You can use this meat as stew beef. What I want to do is season it very well. It'll look like stew beef, but they'll be mine. And then I'm going to, after I season them, I'm going to put them in flour, braise them, and I'm going to use a little bit of, I think this is whiskey, my son? No, this is brandy. I think that's brandy. I'm not even sure. Tells you how much I know about liquor. I just think it'll have good flavor. You can serve this over whatever you wish. I keep seeing mashed potatoes, but I don't know how many potatoes I have. But like I told you, there's so much to know in the kitchen. You really have to know what you're doing. You just can't walk into the kitchen and say, I know how to cook. There's just so much that has to be known. What the heck, right? What am I doing? Now you know I'm going to go heavy-handed on this because I like the seasonings on these meats. They are just so good. And I tell people, don't be afraid of seasonings. Put them on and enjoy them for what they are. Okay, now that we've done that, we'll get our old flour. And then we'll roll them in the flour. Then we'll be ready. much flour left. There is so little flour in here, I am just going to do it like that and just end it. And I'll start another batch. They smell so good. And we're just getting started. We haven't even cooked them yet. I don't know how I want to serve this yet. I'm still thinking about that. I know I'm going to serve them over something. But I just think it's going to be delicious. Melted. Let's see. Yes. I'm going to put some oil in a pan. That might be a whiskey I'm putting in it. I really don't know what this is. It's an E&J. Oh, it is a brandy. I didn't know. I was going to run upstairs and ask myself, what did you give me? We're just going to let this get hot, and then we're going to braise these very carefully. We don't want to burn those seasonings because they're delicious. Now, what I did with those pork center cuts that I got and stuffed, what I did was the biscuits, I broke them in half. There were 2 biscuits each, and then what I did was I took the center pork chop and I sliced it and I laid it across the biscuits, and then I poured the gravy on top of it. I took a picture of it and I put it on my Facebook, America's Home Cooking, if you want to see what it looked like. And I just had some leftover vegetables and I just threw them together, and that was lunch. By the way, it came out very nice. You don't hear me say dinner often because my day starts so early and it winds down that I don't have supper because I'm usually eating early in the morning. So that's why you usually don't. For me, this would be my meal, big meal for the day. Because I am an early riser. I think anybody in the country knows that. They are early risers. This smells so good. I whispered, this smells so good. I don't want everybody in the world to know. I am in a good mood today. Feeling good. I might have flour left over here and have to put it back in the bowl. Yep, I'm going to have flour left over again. Okay, here it is. I'll put it in another bowl. I'm going to brown these. I'm not going to over brown them, but I want them to brown just enough, and then we'll get to the other part of this. Okay, I finished. that smells nice. And I put 2 capfuls of that in. And I'll get some stuff, and that will go very well together. I know I shouldn't whisper, but it really smells good. You know when you make something like that, you don't want to yell, yay! You sit there, oh, that smells so good. Oh my God. I can't wait till this is done. I do want to add a little water to this. Because I don't want to make this soupy. Just about enough to cover the meat. And we are going to let this come to a boil, turn it down, and let all of these flavors mingle together. And it should make an excellent, excellent dish. That's good. Okay, I'll turn this up much higher now. That's high. Okay. Let me put things up and I will be back. Okay, it's really boiling now. Now I didn't cover the meat, but I came very close to covering it. I can't wait. Now I'm going to turn this down to a simmer. Keep it at a very low boil. Now the liquid is going to start to evaporate and get thick. That's going to be our gravy. All right, and this is going to be for hours, so I'm going to close this video down, but there'll be a part 2 when we go to put it together, season it up even more with the gravy after the meat cooks. So I'll see you then in part 2.